You're coming home, all this stuff's a wreck, and obviously it's a mess. Obviously, you're in a desperate situation.
Mm-hmm.
You say you try to kill yourself. However that ends up being, it's desperation.
Mm-hmm. True.
And now you have 2 kids.
Yeah. I think I reset my mind because now I'm out of a foreign country, coming home, and I know what home is. Home
Or
to
what
me
it should be, right?
Yes, I know what home is, and my mind, it's real. I have a really strong will, Brian, and when somebody, you know, says something, it's like I'm not 100% on board all the time. I'll figure it out, you know. But even with this whole thing, it's like my mind, my thing was to keep going, get it done, have a nice life. That's my
I guess
thought.
that's why I know you
So
as
I'm not the one that
resilient.
crumples and falls,
Right.
and that's it. Throw my kids away.
And that's why you telling me that about suicide for the first time. It's surprising to me, and it doesn't seem real because I don't see you as that.
Yeah,
So
it was real.
It's hard for me to.
Mm-hmm.
You came back to Illinois.
Yes.
2 kids.
Yes, and we rented a little house in the city, and he was working like a truck job, box truck delivering groceries or something, whatever, produce, and it was fine. I mean, PJ and Reese, they played together in the front porch. It was so cute, the 2 of them. They're little now.
But now, PJ, you said he went through some things at first, like cutting his finger off, and
that was older. He was older.
He was older by then.
Yeah.
The other kids we were around by then.
What?
No,
you were all there.
You were around by then.
Yeah, you were all there. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Except Reese. I mean, Soul.
So that's
except
later.
Soul.
So normal. Yeah. Everything's kind of normal. These 2 kids.
Yeah,
no,
he came home.
No fighting. No
fun, nice. Yep. Carmen lived about a block away or something,
His
and
sister.
Yeah, and it was nice. We went to his family for Sunday dinners and stuff. I mean, it was normal. It flowed really well. So we get a 3 flat in the city on Bloomingdale and Kedzie. He got a job at CTA. He was a bus driver at first. And it was fine. I mean, it was normal. Everything was normal. And we moved into the 3 flat. We rented the other 2 flats.
Right.
And doing fine. You got a CTA paycheck. You got insurance. Got your kids. Everything's working good. I find out I'm pregnant. Then Frank was born in March 29th of 71. And he was called to Puerto Rico to deliver the billetes, okay, for his family at that time. The day Frank was born, he took off that morning. And I told him, I was in the bathroom and I said, there's a spot of blood already. He said, I got to go. So he left. He wasn't there for Frank's birth.
What did his father do for a living?
Well, he went from supermarket to supermarket, and he's selling billetes, lottery tickets, Puerto Rican lottery tickets.
Did you know at the time?
I didn't know. I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about it. What's his father do for a living? How much money does he have? I wasn't like that.
Did he have a regular job?
Huh?
Did he have a regular job?
He had one, because when I stayed with them, he had a job, and he got fired from it because he acted like he was crazy. He wanted to get fired, and he acted like he was crazy. It was a bookbinding little shop or something.
Right.
And it wasn't far from where they lived on Winchester. And he would go every day, and he would go, but he's not the one to be working under anybody. He's just not. Right. And so then I guess they picked up the business of selling lottery tickets. I mean, there's a lot of money in that, I guess. And the 2 of them, mom and dad, just hooked up and did their thing, all the time. I didn't know why they were going out all the time.
Every year, every 5 years, every year.
What?
Bought a new car.
Oh, yeah, every year they got a car. yeah.
Every
Yeah,
year he
you
bought a
pay
new
cash
car
for
and
it.
had parties at the house. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I liked the family when I was there. They were good to me. But
but the parties they would have bands and all this stuff
oh
that are not
yeah,
normal for anybody.
musicians and singers. Yep. It was all so new to me, and I really liked it. I liked the family. I like, you know what I'm saying, the
Right,
family
right. The
atmosphere.
togetherness of it all. Yeah.
And yeah, it was nice. I mean, my mom was teaching me how to cook, and I lived there. When he was in Vietnam, I lived there for a whole year.
But as far as billetes, you had no idea
I had nothing.
what
No,
it
I
was,
didn't know
what it
what they were
meant,
doing. They would sit at the table and have all the stuff out,
numbers and all that
and
stuff.
numbers and everything. And Mama was the brain of the operation with the numbers, boy. And yeah, she was. But she also got caught, and she was on TV
A couple times on
once
ABC,
that I know of. Yeah, once that I know of, that they caught her, and she was actually in jail. And Pete was like, "Oh my God," because we saw her on TV, and he says, "Oh my God, that's my mom." Yeah, here she is.
Wow.
And he of course went to the family and tried to talk and everything, and Mom, stop this shit, and all that, because they wanted him to do it, and he said no. Was born.
Frank was born,
in
and
71.
he has to run some numbers to Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
So
just
that's
once
what
in a
he
while.
does.
It wasn't all the time. Yeah,
In his
But-
jacket, do you even know how? Do you know how?
he knew what he was
under
doing.
his jacket, do you know how he did it?
No.
Numbers? Because
Oh, they put it in a suitcase.
Just put it in a suitcase and
Oh
carry it.
yeah,
Nothing
wrapped
major.
stuff up in there and made it look like this, that, and the other. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so
That's-
he ran numbers to
Yeah.
Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
did it, came back home. Frank's born.
Mhm.
Now you
Mhm.
got 3.
Mhm.
And when do you guys go to Puerto Rico
Oh,
full
well,
time?
I get pregnant with you 11
Okay.
months after Frank's born.
So
Okay.
11 months after, now you're pregnant
With you. And I'm
Number
like,
4.
all right, you need to get up now, because I'm going to have a baby right here, right now. And he didn't get up. And I said, I'm going on the sofa. I'm going to have this baby. And he got up, but we had to dress 3 kids,
3
And
others.
I'm thinking, oh, will I ever get to the hospital? So we dropped the kids by Carmen, and I go to the hospital. You're already crowning, they call it, where your head is already right there visible. So they didn't do anything. They just rushed me in.
What hospital?
Yeah.
What
Just,
hospital?
Illinois Masonic. Wait,
Okay.
yeah. And I go to the hospital. I have you. Cute as hell. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, oh no. I'm telling you, cute. Him and Frank, just Reese was a monster. She's all wrinkled and crying, looked really bad.
We'll
But
cut that
you
out.
guys were so perfect, just perfect. And
Now I'm gonna get emotional. See that?
yeah, now. But anyway, yeah, he started changing for some odd reason. He seemed like he was getting more angry about things quicker. Well, now you got 4 kids.
Uh-huh.
And I was 24 at that age.
Wow.
24.
24 years old.
I had
4
4
kids.
kids. And he's 25.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And a house.
Wow.
All the car and everything. So, but he was doing it. We were collecting rent. We were fixing the place as we moved along. We fixed the yard. I mean, everything. It was going along fine. But anyway, it was fine until his mom and dad sent him a letter from Puerto Rico. They moved from here to Puerto Rico. And the letter was, Pete, you have to come and help your dad with the stationery business. And I'll pay you $50 to $75 a week. We had no car. Okay.
Right.
So he starts doing this job, but he's thumbing his way to work, because they lived in San Juan and we lived in the country.
But were you there now?
Yeah.
You were there with him.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah. Yep. Yeah. I wrapped up things at home. I had to, sell furniture. I had to get enough money to get the tickets to go, and I left the flat. It had people renting, and then we told them, we're going to send you the money every month to pay for the 3 flat. I guess the mortgage company moved, and she didn't get notice because it wasn't in her name, it was my name,
Right.
and Pete. So she didn't know. She thought but she would get the letter back after she mailed it.
Right.
And it had the new address, but she still didn't make the payment. She kept the payments on top of the refrigerator. We lost the house. We lost the 3 flat. He gave up his car voluntarily. Our credit we were good. We were doing well.
Right.
I mean, all the cards were really lined up good.
Right.
But then, I got to help my dad. Okay, go help your dad.
Right.
So now he goes. And now I come with all of you guys after I've cleaned up the mess. And we go to Puerto Rico. And we rent a place in the country. And you got sick. You had impetigo, which is some skin disease. And me and Pete got sick on our feet. And our feet swelled up really, really big. And we couldn't go to the doctor with shoes.
Right.
We went barefoot.
Jesus Christ.
Both of us with our elephant feet. And I'm laughing at him. He's laughing at me. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
So we get to the doctor and he said, you've been somewhere where there's a lot of sand and mosquitoes.
But now this is back in Chicago?
We're in Chicago.
Because
Checking.
Right.
Well, no. We went
You were in Puerto Rico for a while.
to the doctor for our feet.
Right.
I brought you here to the doctor.
That was after.
That's not after nothing.
You
were a baby.
Wasn't after we came back? Everybody
No.
came back?
No.
You made a trip to Chicago?
I made a few trips to Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that one time I said, I'm taking Brian with me. I said, he's sick. We got to get this done. You had this sores all over you. And the doctor said, you've been somewhere with a lot of mosquitoes and sand. And I said, yep, Puerto Rico. So he says, here, this is what he's got. This is the medication for you. And so you got healed up from all of that. No scars, nothing. And then we're having problems now with our feet because of the mosquitoes and the chicken shit, because we lived in the country and they had chickens and pigs and all kind. Oh yeah.
Right.
Not that I was out there doing anything with them, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah, they were there. And so we got sick, and then we got medication for it in Puerto Rico. That's where, that we went barefoot.
Okay.
Okay, so we get that fixed up, and
you were saying that he's working, but he wasn't really making any money,
right,
and it was just you.
Well,
you ended up working
later.
Right?
He was trying to get to his dad's place every day, and he did get there.
And was it a bar or stationary? You said
No, it was stationary in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
The bar was back in Chicago later?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so while he was there, he kept coming home and he said, my dad's not paying me what he said he was going to pay me. And I said, but you've been going every day. What's the problem?
Okay.
And they had money. They were okay. They could have paid him, And we're
Just
sitting up there with 4 kids, hungry, in the country with bugs all over us.
Right. Swollen feet.
Yeah, swollen feet. And we passed through that because I came home one day and you were in the front yard with a little diaper hanging on, looking all hillbilly and nasty. And I'm like, he was home. He wasn't working. Remember, he left his dad and all that. So I walk in the door and he's drunk out of his mind on his bed. No sheets, no nothing. I'm like, this guy, what the hell? So I said, the kids are all over the place. you know. And I think PJ was probably 6, maybe
Right.
5 or 6,
Right.
and then on down the line to you. And oh, no, 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 there's a woman coming for dinner. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, there's no dinner. I said, the thing is burned to crisp in the oven. Oh, no, no. I said, yeah. I said, bring out this pork chop. Damn thing was hard as a rock and black. And I said, yeah, there's nobody coming here for dinner. Oh, geez. Oh, like he made a big mistake. Oh, nobody can come now, because he ruined the dinner. So we get through that, no biggie. And packed up the things, went to San Juan, told his mom, you're, butera, like you're lying. And I'm like, no, I'm not lying. So open the suitcase, it's closed and everything's in there, closed up, here's the ticket. So a cab came and took him to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, thank you, God. Yeah. So he went and he comes here and he gets a townhouse in Mount Prospect.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's here, and I told him, well, you get a job when you get there. Well, he got a job when he got here. It was selling Pitney Bowes stamp machines.
Printers,
And,
stamp.
huh?
Printers?
No, stamp machine,
Okay.
an actual, postage like that,
Okay.
little machine.
Oh, I got you.
So he was selling it to different offices and places, and it was commission against draw, where he would get commission, but
You get paid for showing up.
right,
Because they
he
have to
owed
pay
them.
you,
He
but
ended
then
up
you end up
owing
owing
them
them.
more money
Right.
than he was making.
If you're not making it, right.
So he said
You
he
have
had
to pay
liquid
back.
lunches and all that because he had no money. We had no money, nothing coming in, and he just kind of faked through it, whatever he could. And I thought, okay, right. But then
You
sold
sold
the
everything
things.
in Puerto Rico, sold the
Yes.
car
Yeah,
twice or
twice.
something.
Sold the car twice.
Right.
Well, the
So
guy
you
didn't
gotta-
show up, and he gave me the money. I said, "Well, be here by a certain time tomorrow, because I won't be here after that." And another guy came and he said, "How much you want for the car?" I think it was like $800, and it was a good little runner. And I sold it, so I had that other guy's money plus this one. And I thought, hey, it's their loss. They didn't show
now
up.
You know, Linda's the one.
What?
Now he knows. Linda took his money.
Oh yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah.
So you sold everything.
The decision was made to go back.
Right.
He went back, got the Mount Prospect place. He leaned on his uncle a lot to get him a car, help him get a car, to help him get the apartment, help get furniture brand new,
Right.
and help him get suits because he needed suits to wear to the office. He's a salesman,
Right.
That's
You gotta look
Yeah.
the part.
gotta look good. Yeah, so he's taking care of all his stuff, and then it's time for us now, me and the kids, to come.
Right.
And we get here. His cousin again was at the airport to pick me up.
But all the stories that you keep telling me, it just keeps taking me back to you've been on your own. You've been
Yeah,
on your own. You're married, but you're doing everything.
I won my kids.
Yeah, but I know that. But it just seems
Yeah.
to be like you're,
Yeah.
Showing up and then he's sleeping. You got this.
Oh
and
yeah.
He's gone.
Oh
You
yeah.
do this,
No,
and then that. Then you got
no
3
responsibility for anything. I mean, really, for nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, and we didn't eat a lot of times at that Mount Prospect address. We did not. And I told him, I'll go work at the Modern Way Cleaners, which was behind the place where we lived. And I would clean, the clothes. I would help them iron and steam and
Right.
whatever. And one time I made $15 and he laughed at the paycheck. He's laying there doing nothing. You're going to laugh at my $15 paycheck? Oh, I wanted to beat him. I wanted to beat him. So I'm like, don't laugh, because I cried. I mean, that hurt me,
Right.
because I had 2 jobs. I also went to Allstate to work.
Right.
in the insurance company. And I was falling asleep on that job because I worked late at the cleaners. And I was falling asleep, and the lady asked me, she said, "Are you okay, Linda?" And I said, "No, I'm really tired." And not long after that, I had to quit. I had to, you know. But you guys were all suffering. But in the meantime, he's getting, what do you call these ladies? We call them babysitters, you know. And the first one, she told us that she just got out of prison.
Okay.
I'm hitting my head like, what the hell? And then the second one was heavy, real heavy. And she broke our banister going upstairs to the bedroom.
Okay.
And she couldn't reach like the light to turn it on and off because there was a pull string in the closet.
Right.
Because Pete put the mattress on the floor because she'd break the bed. I mean, she was huge. And it's going up and down holding the banister. Broke the banister. And Pete was like, "Oh, God, we got to get rid of these people." So the prisoner, she left, and the heavy duty one, she was still there, but Pete had to tell her, you know, okay. But he called me at work at Allstate, and he said, "Oh, we got a big one now." He tells me.
Okay.
I said, "Oh, God, please tell me what." He said, "I couldn't even get her in the door, Linda."
Oh,
I'm like, "Oh, God, oh, God."
Living with you guys?
Yeah, she had to. Yeah, these were live-ins.
Live-in.
Oh yeah.
Babysitter.
Oh
geez.
Yeah, all 3 or 4 of them, and so he'd call. "Oh, she's a big one now." So I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" So I get home. She would cook and everything, but she also ate a lot.
Oh,
And Frank told Pete she ate all our cereal, and it was a big bowl, like a big salad bowl. And she had it filled up with milk and cereal, like all filled. She ate it all. And Frank, you know, Frank with food. And he was like, "Dad, she ate all our cereal." I'm like, so then Pete had to tell her, you know, "You need to slow it down a little bit. You need to calm down a little bit." And then before I knew it, though, you know, I'm at work. He had to tell her to leave. And we got another one. Skinny, Coke drinking, smoker. I'm like, "Oh no, man, this is not going to work." And now, because I'm thinking about all you guys now, you know, with this, you know. So I had to leave Allstate, but he was still working Pitney Bowes and making little money.
Right.
But it's not like we were loaded or anything. And so that passes, okay. But we almost got evicted from that place because we didn't have money to pay for the rent. And and so he gets a letter, you know, we got to move by a certain date because we're not paying, whatever.
And
So
is that where your parents came over? Where your
no, they never came to Mount Prospect.
Well, you said they came over somewhere and there was no heat.
Oh no, that
was way before
in the city. No, it was after this place.
Okay.
And so everything was okay. You know, with me, everything's always okay. I don't cause a big disturbance about stuff until you get it to there. Right. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, we have to move back now to the city. Rent's cheaper and all that.
And eventually, you tell him to go back to CTA.
He lost the car.
Right.
Ruined his uncle's credit. Didn't pay for the clothes. Didn't pay for the furniture, and wasn't paying rent. His uncle was like livid. I mean, he stepped up to help him and help us. They carried that grudge a very long time. All right, so we moved to the city, moved to this little house, and the landlord, I remember him distinctly saying, "The house is like yours. So anything that breaks, anything that needs to be done, you got to do it."
As is, kind of.
Yeah. So I'm like, "Pete, it's cold in here. What the hell?" Well, I found out that our oil, because we had to buy oil for this big tank in the basement,
right.
And to get the heat going, it was dripping out, big stream of it dripping down into the what do you call that? The drain, yeah, in the basement. And I'm like, we're paying money for nothing. I said, my God. So then my parents come over to visit, and they always brought food and stuff with them. And I didn't ask, but Mom she was thinking ahead.
Right.
And she thought again, about him. So anyway, so they come, it's cold as hell. You guys, you just had to wear whatever you could wear to stay warm. And Mom turns on the stove in the kitchen, and she said, well, we'll just use the oven and the burners, I said, okay, it's dangerous, but, it was an apartment-sized stove, real narrow little thing. But it heated enough, but now we had bedrooms upstairs. Ain't no heat going up there, blankets maybe, but that's when his father said he's going to open a bar. I wasn't happy with that. And he went to work at the bar.
Right.
And it was called Paradise something, whatever street that was on. And
was he happy about it? Was he excited about it? He was.
Oh, yes, of course. We wanted to be near the liquor. And I'm like, but bartenders don't drink. Usually they don't drink. Well, he did. And I got angry one day, and I said, because he kept coming home 3 or 4 in the morning, drunk out of his mind, barely could get up the stairs.
Driving as well, or
he said, huh?
Driving?
Oh yeah, of course.
Blasted?
Yeah, whatever he was. Yeah, whatever he was driving. I don't even remember.
He wasn't walking to work.
Oh hell no, no.
So every night he was
but I don't remember what car we had.
Right.
But yeah, so he's going back and forth, coming in 3 and 4, and I said, why do you come in so late? And he said because he has to do a PR thing with other bars.
Okay. Yeah.
I believed it. Public relations, build up business, bring it to his business, well, I got a bar too. Come on. So.
Hey, you got a bar. We got a bar. Hey.
Huh?
Everybody got a bar. Let's get a bar.
Yeah. And I got angry, and I said, I got to talk to your mom and dad. So we went over there one day, and I went to his father. He was sitting at the dining room table, and I hit that table so hard with my hand. I didn't care. I didn't care what the hell happened. And I said, you got to sell that bar. I said, or I'm divorcing him. That's it. I said, this is ridiculous. And I gave the scenario about him coming home all those hours, and well, he shouldn't be this and that. Yeah, I'm telling you, sell the bar. So the bar sold, and he must have gone back to CTA again. I want to say that because I don't think him doing anything. I don't remember him doing anything else. CTA was all the time,
Back to CTA.
Yeah.
Better money.
Yeah.
Better living situation.
Okay. Now, we moved from there. Where did we go? To Walton, I think. Yeah, because I had all 4 of you. We go to Walton City, Austin area, and we rented that house. It was
you guys
big.
rented the house on Walton?
Yeah, it was big house. And it was very nice, comfortable for all of us. And so he's at CTA. Now he's chumming up with a buddy there. And
Marcos?
So he makes friends with this guy.
Marcos,
and he goes to his house. And he sees her. Pete sees her, his wife. Yes. And there's a baby. There's a little girl there.
Okay.
So Marcos and Sally had their Javi.
1-year-old?
Yeah.
1 or 2?
Nah, not even.
Not even 1?
No. So the 2 of them get together. Pete's working. He figured out, he said, okay, Marcos is working nights, I'll work days.
Well, wasn't he doing real estate or?
No, that was
he was doing real estate.
Intermittent type thing.
He used that as an excuse to see her most of the time, no? That he was to go see a house and this and that, and then
that was when we were on Walton. Yeah, true. So he where was I, Brian?
He was with the CTA.
Yes.
He was working CTA, and then he was also
Oh
working
yeah, he
some
was.
real estate part time. He met Marcos.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
were. He then went to Marcos' house, seen his wife,
Yes.
and got interested.
Yes. Yes. He comes home one day and he tells me, not at that time, but
Mm-hmm.
this was like later, after all of the whatever with them. He said that she was the woman of his dreams, that he saw her in his dreams. I'm just giving you a scenario of the mind,
Okay.
that mind. And he had a dream, and she had long hair, dark hair, and she had like a flowing dress and all this. And I'm like, oh, shut up. Just shut up.
Okay.
God almighty, you know. So anyway, he's going back and forth with this Marcos thing, and somebody found out that Pete was seeing her.
They were friends at work.
Somebody
One's
found
working
out.
morning, one working night.
Somebody in the family
between,
probably
seeing each other and
yes,
doing things
and sneaking around, having you guys with them and all that.
right.
Don't tell your mom, you know, whatever. So then Marcus' brothers said, we're gonna kick his ass. So they did. They went to the real estate office, and Pete was coming out there on Austin and North Avenue.
Uh-huh.
And he was coming out because he was like buddies with the Century 21 people or something.
Yeah.
You know, he just got in there, you know, however. And they said, so they met him outside of the job.
3 guys.
Uh-huh.
Marcos and 2 brothers, right?
Yes. They kicked him all over the street right there. There was a light, like, you know, light. What do you call it? The stoplight and everything. And I mean, it was like a big thing there. Plus, there was a median, you know, in the road right there. And I'm like, oh boy. So I didn't know any of this until he comes home and he's got a busted up head. I was, but I was pregnant on Walton. And you guys.
You're pregnant with Soul on Walton.
You guys were going to grade school in the area. You would come home and go to the babysitter's house.
Go to Gert's house.
Yes.
And he
was home at times babysitting, like he worked nights or whatever, however that went.
Right.
He would stay home with Soul during the day, and she would come and be in the house with him. But I didn't know that. I didn't know any of that.
And
so,
there was one, either her christening, was it?
Yes. Had baptism for Soul. And he invited her, and
he invited her and her husband, or just her?
No, just her. Just her. Oh, just her. And he came. So Mama was there, and she said,
his mom,
you better watch what's going on there. So I'm like, okay. But I was already snooping around.
So his mom says, hey, you better open your eyes a little bit, pay attention to what's going on with your husband.
Right. So they leave, everybody leaves, and he's...
But wasn't it during the party or something like that, he came to you and you guys were looking across at he told you to respect her, or...
Oh, no, okay. So we were on Walton. This was way before the party, the baptism, a month, let's say, before.
Okay.
And he brought her in the house, and she went to get Soul out of the crib.
The baby.
And I said, don't put your hands on her. I said, you don't touch her. And she just looked at me like, why? I said, no, you don't touch her. So Pete's in the kitchen, and he hears me say that, and he calls me a whore. And I'm like, you want to see the whore? I said, she's standing right here. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, all of this stuff started coming out of my mouth to tell him, and I don't remember what it was. And it was like a gift of tongues. I swear to God, because it made him like down, so small. And then, and I saw it. I actually saw it. I'm like, wow. So then I told him, I said, you're not man enough to have 2 women. That's when he got really mad. Really mad. So he's walking out of the kitchen now, and he walks past her and he grabs her arm and he says, "Let's go." So he left. Bye. My tolerance level was at its limit. I wasn't going to take any more shit,
Wow.
even though she kept coming and she kept coming. In my mind, I'm telling you, as I think about it now, I wanted to be friends with her so that it would be not a chaotic situation, that it was calm. I wanted to be friends with her, and it turned out to be like we were good friends. It really did turn out that way. No matter what the hell she did or said or anything, it was like that's how it turned out. Because we went to Avers, she came there too. We were on Grand Avenue, she came there too to doctor up his eye. Yeah. So I don't even know if he was at the christening, but I don't remember seeing him. I just don't. And the godparents was a guy from the CTA, Pasquale, and his wife, two good people. And I was good with that. We went through that. Juan and Lil were at the christening. Somehow marijuana was there. I don't know if that was Juan that brought it, but Lil had it, and she said that was his wife, and she said, "Linda, let's try this," and I did, and I didn't feel anything, nothing, and I think kind of if you're not ready for it, it's not going to work on you. It didn't work.
Yeah, I can't know what you're doing.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened, and I did the best I could to do it, but anyway, I didn't care for it. So everybody leaves, everybody goes, and he comes back and he says, wherever he was, and he said he's going to get an apartment on Belle Plaine in the city for himself. So, goodbye, and he did. You guys helped him move all his stuff out. You guys loved his apartment because he put up this big mural on the wall. It looked like a beach and all this, and palm trees, and oh yeah, whatever. So now I'm at Walton, getting everything out that we got to move, and we go to this little place on Grand Avenue, and it was okay. It was a cute little place to be, but it was only for him to recuperate from the eye injury, because that's what was going on.
But living together still, or kind of?
Yep. So I go there, and I'm with him there. I go to work every day, casualty now. So I'm taking a bus, Grand Avenue, downtown. And she shows up after I leave. So I came home one day, and I said, "Has Sally been here?" And he says, "Yeah, she comes and takes care of me every day." I said, "Yeah, I bet she does."
On Grand
Avenue, yes. And you guys were having fun at the house and everything. You just kids,
Right.
So then we go. We have to move from that place because it was just a temporary move, for us to be there and then go to the house on Avers.
Oh, I want to talk about when she lived with us.
He was sleeping on the back porch with his single twin bed. I was in my bed in the bedroom, and I came out of my room, and I'm going towards where he is back there, and she comes down from upstairs, and she's got a pillow, and she threw it at me, like, what the hell am I doing with him
in your house?
Yeah. And I'm like, she's nuts. I said, we were still married at that moment, at that time. So it was, Brian, it's just so, conglomerated, all of it. And I'm trying to keep things together. He's trying to break things apart. and she's the accomplice, you know.
Right.
So now we got 2 against me, and I'm like, this, you know. So I said, okay, today's the day. Today, I'm making up my mind. It's over. We're going to the attorney tomorrow on Monday. He said, okay. And she was living there. She was already, her and her daughter were living with him. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. So I told you guys, I think PG was like 15 at that time.
Right.
Somewhere around there, you know. Yeah, because he.
Is that where he moved into the condo in Oak Park?
I think so, yes.
Pretty much after that?
Yeah.
I was in 8th grade, more or less.
Okay, so we're still
time.
at Avers. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we lived there like almost 9 years.
Yeah, we were there for a long time.
7 to 9 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you guys went to that school predominantly the whole grade school time, you know, until.
But I want to talk about when Sally had told Dad or mentioned to him that PJ or Reese thought all Puerto Rican girls were sluts, and then the big fight happened.
Okay, no. That was on Avers. PJ and Reese went to the show with a couple of friends, Yvette's friends, and because they were all like pretty close. And PJ came home. They get out of the car to come inside, and Pete's there, and she's there, and he says, Pete, I just want to ask you a question. Why don't you date Puerto Rican girls or Hispanic girls? And PJ said, well, I can't find a decent one.
Right.
He didn't say nothing about sluts. And he said, I can't find a decent one. Pow! What do you mean you can't find? What do you mean? What are you saying? What, your mother this, your grandmother that, da da da. You know, we're all Hispanic. What are you saying about the women? You know. So he got his ass kicked bad. And we came inside. Reese, he started with Reese. PJ stood there like the word that comes to me is a centurion. Like
a guard, kind of?
Like solid. You could see all the ripples and everything in him. And he's there. And Pete comes up to him, punches him right in the gut. Didn't even faze him. He just stood there because he hated what was going on. Then he would leave PJ and he would go and beat Reese. Reese was in the chair and there was wood on the sides, and he would slap her face to that wood and slap her face to this wood. And I told him, Pete, stop, just stop. And Frank had already taken you, maybe? Right. You and Sol to the back porch so you wouldn't see or hear things. Yeah. He thought he was, protecting you guys. Right. And so he took you guys back there. In the meantime, Pete just keep going. He just keeps going and going and going with PJ. So then something happened where he said, "Oh, you think you're a man now, huh? You know how you used to talk." Yeah. And PJ just stood there. I could see him like he's a statue today, right there, and he was next to me, and he stepped forward a little bit, and that's when he said, "Oh, you think you're a man now, huh? You're gonna cover for your mom." And PJ said, "Yeah." And then shortly after that, but he was searching his pockets. Pete was searching his pockets for a knife. And Sally said, "No, you left that over there. Remember when you cut that guy in the park?" Yeah. So he didn't have his knife. "Are you sure? Sure, babe? Are you sure?" "You don't have your knife." Thank God. What was he going to do with the knife? What? Imagine an idiot with a knife now,
And when he was hitting Reese with the tin from the radiators, I guess.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot all about that. Yes, he did. He hit her in the head with the radiator cover, and it was metal. And yeah, so the next day was Sol's communion. My mom and dad were going. We were all going. And I told PJ and Reese, I said, "You need to wear sunglasses." And I said, "You guys they just look so beat, so horrible." And then I realized, later on that Reese too didn't have her period for 6 months.
After that.
And I said, Reese, why don't you say something? She goes, Reese has always been, more to herself and stuff about things like that. And she said, yeah. She said, I haven't had it for 6 months. And I'm like, oh my God. And I knew it was because of him.
Was it getting harder for you at that point? Because it was...
I just wanted to die. It was horrible for to see that and to have that. They had to go to school.
Right.
They had to go to school the next day. Well, the next day was communion,
Right.
but they had school, high school.
Eventually, yeah.
So, I mean, the abuse was just, it's so prevalent. It was just so obvious, all of it, and it seemed like he was just getting worse and worse. But the drinking was constant at that point. And
well, I remember he used to pick us up from school several times and crash the car or do something, crash into a gas pump or whatever.
The truck.
Yeah, no, I remember he was in Oak Park and he picked us up on the weekends. I would, there was a couple across the street from his apartment. You could see out the window, and they would have sex parties, I guess, every Friday or whatever. It seemed like we were there on Fridays. So they would have a sex and cocaine
How old
party.
were you?
Shit, I was 13, probably 12, 13 years old.
Oh, I thought you were 8.
No, I was in 8th grade.
Oh, 8th grade.
And we used to see these people just do cocaine and then have sex and all this other stuff. And then one day they got in a fight, I guess. They got in a fight. And Dad had told me, well, he told Sally, he says, hey, me and Brian are going to go get cigarettes. And that was it. So I was like, okay, let's go. So he took me out because they were getting in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lady left the house naked, but with a coat on, a big fur coat. And she just needed whatever, get out. So then when he seen her leave, he told Sally, let's go. He told Sally that he's going to go to the store. He told me, let's go follow her. And eventually he got her number. That night, it was just, we went out, we seen her at the bus stop. She was crying, nothing happened. And then we just went home. The next, whatever days, he ended up getting her number or whatever. And then I was at school and I was playing football in the parking lot or whatever. And he called me to the car and he says, do you remember her?
The truck, like, the army truck?
No, he called me to his white, it was a white Buick I think he had at the time, the Buick at that point.
Okay.
So do you remember her? And then I looked at her, I'm like, not really. And then he said, show him. And then she showed me her tits, her breast. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the girl from across the thing. And I guess he had taken her, I guess he gave her cocaine those days or that day. And she was coming from work with him because he had already passed her around at work or something. And then he was taking her home. And then I think that's where he told PJ that if you want, you can. And then I think he didn't. And then that whole thing, whatever, he was scared and all this other shit.
Yeah. So. Yeah, PJ was in a bad shape at that place with Pete because he was contemplating jumping off the balcony, which I think was odd. It was odd because it went down like that. The drive went down under the building.
Yeah.
So the apartment that you guys were at,
it was probably 7th or 8th floor.
It was like really high.
Yeah.
And so he had just had enough of what Pete was doing and all that, with all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Reese told him, what are you doing? And he said I'm going to jump. So he was going to jump from there and kill himself. And Reese said that it was horrible because PJ also had that thing where he would shake when he got nervous and he would start sweating too, under his arms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete was coming home one evening and PJ was like, oh my God. He wanted to just end it. He just wanted to end it. And Reese was telling me this. And so he was like, when Pete came in, he just went right to his room. That was it. He didn't do anything. But Pete always had to find something to bitch about. Had to be something to lay into this kid, you know? And Reese said it was horrible. It was horrible. And so Reese also made a decision to come back home and to go to Notre Dame High School. And Pete said, that's your mother talking. And she said, no, it's not. So I'm going back to Notre Dame. And she left. She went back to Notre Dame and didn't give a hoot what he thought or anything. And PJ, he went to the Army. Pete came to the house and he said, my house, and he said, you need to sign off for PJ to go to the Army at 17. I said, okay. Considering the whole situation, you absolutely darn right. Yeah. So I signed off. PJ hates it to this day that I did that. Very angry that I did that. He said, you sent me away. I said, PJ, it was the best thing that it could happen to you. Best thing. No, from Oak Park, you went to Bolingbrook.
We were in Bolingbrook, I guess, yeah. PJ had went there for a little bit, high school.
You went to 4 different high schools in 4 years.
He did.
High school years. Yeah.
Wow.
4 different high schools. Yeah.
Matters.
But he saw a lot. He saw a lot from his father. All the years started when he was little. He saw a lot, because of, you know, what we could afford. And he came by one day, and I told him, I said, I need money. You know, I need to pay things here. And he said, your priorities are messed up. I said, well, what are you talking about? And he said, I see you. He said, I've seen you. You and the kids walking to Guy's Pizza, getting whatever. And that was our thing, you know. We just had to do something, get out of that house. And on weekends, we would go to the beach, you know, and come back on the bus and everything. I mean, I was living normal. To me, it was normal. Yeah, so that piece of it, you know, with him watching and not giving any money. He gave money the first month, $500, the second month, $300. After that, nothing. But he kept telling you guys, I'm giving your mother money. And you guys were thinking that I was hiding it or spending it. That's what he was telling me, you know, that you guys knew about it and that I was hiding it or spending it. Wow. Wow. You know? And so my priorities were messed up, and I looked at him. He was on the front porch, glass again on the eyes. And he told me that. And I looked at him and I said, my priorities, mine, are messed up. You know, because that was our time. Sometimes I would take one kid to Ferndale to have soup. We would share the soup and share half a sandwich. That's what I could afford. That's what we did. But that was our time. And I would, next day or next week, I would take the other one and another one in the family, you know, just so nobody got left out. And I remember Frank, he went one time on his birthday, and he got the biggest ice cream thing that he could get, and he loved it. He remembered it all his life. He remembered going to Ferndale's and getting that ice cream. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. You know, you never know what your children are absorbing from anything that's going on in the family. You know, you never freaking know. And what you would absorb and understand or go with, the other kid got something totally different from it. Yeah. That's why all those stories are so different. But if you guys were to tell it, I know it for real, but, you know, you guys feel that that's your story and then you're sticking to it. You know, that's it. Yeah, but whatever. Why, a lot of stuff happened in Bolingbrook with him because you left. You ran away from there.
What a lot happened on Avers is that we were hungry a lot of times and not really left alone, but...
Well, alone. Reese was the only one that took on the responsibility to keep you guys together.
Sounds weird, but at the time...
But I went to work every day.
Yeah.
Wasn't like I was out
And she was how
partying.
old? How old was?
Reese?
Yeah, and PJ is 13-ish, 14. So times on neighbors where we were left alone in the summer times, right?
Mm?
And no food and all this other stuff, and then we had to. That's when we went to the stores, and there was four of us. Basically, it's not. I wouldn't say five because Sol didn't go.
No.
It was like four of us, and then we would steal the bottles and return them to the store, and go to the Jimenez store, and also would do whatever we can, steal ice cream and steal milk and all that stuff to eat and all that crap.
Mm.
So there was a lot of that going on Avers and stuff like that.
And we were cold.
Yeah, there was times where we went
We
without
were
heat.
taking bath water from a coffee pot.
I remember taking a bath with
Water was probably about this deep.
3 boys in the tub, and
Yes.
back to back to back, or front to front, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's sitting there, and then you running back and forth, getting water, heating up water on a hot plate, I guess.
No, it was a coffee pot.
It was a coffee pot.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have
electric.
gas. They cut our gas.
Right, we didn't have gas. We had electric.
Right. So I mean, all those times and hard times and everything like that, I guess need to be said, need to be addressed. But just putting them all in there is weird. It's hard,
Well, it's I realized that you guys lost a lot of respect for me because I did nothing, and you wondered why, and you were old enough to wonder why. Why isn't Mom protecting us?
Maybe that,
So,
in the long run. At the time, I was too young to even think about
yeah,
it.
but
later,
it was
maybe.
the respect was gone because when you guys were holding me down and all that, the respect was gone. He was the one that was running the show.
Yeah.
If he told you to jump in the lake, you would have jumped in the lake because that's
Yeah,
all of you were scared.
Yeah, we were all scared pretty much.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then he was just rough with us at times, and just drunk, and making stupid decisions and hitting and all this other shit sometimes, which ended up being just too much for everybody eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved back with you and went to East Leiden when you were living on Grand Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so you went from Avers to Grant?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
More or less?
Yeah, Grand. Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Yep. River Grove.
So we're in River Grove, and PJ's in the Army, Reese's college. So Grand and East Leiden, and then they told me I'm 18. I can sign myself out, or I don't have to go to school. And I said, okay, sounds good. Right? So signed myself out, and
Mom, I get a phone call at work, and you tell me, okay, Mom, I'm not going to school anymore. Sign myself out, but I need you to go there. So I signed you out. You call me at work again. Mom, I'm going to California. I saw this ad in the paper, and we're going to be selling something. I didn't know, but you were on your way to be a model. But I was ready to have a portfolio made at that time for you.
Yeah,
but you weren't in that frame of mind. You were going with Tutu. Got to go California, live with his family. I'm like, oh, Jesus
went to
Christ.
California and struck out.
Yeah.
Nothing happening there.
PJ came to get you because you were.
Yeah, I had to have my brother come pick me up because he was in the Army in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And I'm living in California in hotels, hotel hallways, basically. And he picked me up, and I went there for a year.
Mm-hmm. My dad passes away.
Your dad passed away during that time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then PJ said, well, I'll bring Brian with me when I come because he wanted to go to the funeral. Mm. And I said, okay, good. And then he says, but is he going to stay with you? And I said, I don't know. I said, I have a couple of stipulations that you get married. No, you get a job. You get married. Oops, sorry. You get a job, you get married, because you were really, liking Maria a lot, And I said that was it. and you got a job. Oh, GED, I said. You got to get your GED, you got to get a job, and get married. So in that order. And you did. You went down there, you got the GED like that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even study for nothing. Just went in there and took the test on Washington Avenue. I remember. And I picked you up. I still got the paper.
Yeah.
I still got the paper. Where,
Jeez.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So then you started working by me. But you and Maria got married during this time.
Right.
She
20
got
years old,
pregnant.
21.
Huh?
21 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. And what else?
Well, did that had Brianna at 20. Had Brianna at 20.
You were on my path.
Yeah.
At that time.
And your first grandchild, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
First grandchild.
Yes. Beautiful baby.
20. And you were living probably in.
I was living in
Park
River
kind of
Grove, but a different apartment.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Hawaii and all that stuff
Uh-huh. Yeah, same
for a vacation kind
same
of deal.
time. Yeah. Yeah.
We did the Hawaii trip, and
We stayed with PJ because he was stationed there.
PJ was then on his second wife.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's married to Sandy.
Yeah. And he had Sage.
And he had his daughter now.
Mm-hmm.
After I went to Hawaii and they didn't have a daughter.
No, not yet.
No. So
No,
we
it
were
was
in
after.
Hawaii.
She was pregnant.
He had his daughter.
Yeah.
Frank was married or going to Germany, back and forth, Germany kind of thing? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet, but eventually, right?
Well, PJ came out of the service. He went to a house that you were in on the south side.
Okay, so now I was already getting divorced by then.
Yes, you were. Yes.
So I had met the crazy one that had me shot. And that's the house that he stayed in when we left to Orland Park. Because we bought a house in Orland Park when we were selling our stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we had that big house in Orland Park, which left the house on Mozart vacant for PJ to move in with his family coming from military or coming from Oklahoma or something like that, right?
Yes.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy lived there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost contact, right? I didn't talk to you for
Me and you?
Yep.
Yeah.
About 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember I don't know what we were arguing. I don't remember if we even had an argument.
No, it wasn't really argument. You guys didn't agree with what I was doing.
And I didn't like her.
And you didn't like Lucy, but I was selling drugs or whatever the hell. And you guys didn't like it. And I didn't care because I was making money. And that was it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I didn't see Brianna either.
You didn't see Brianna
for 3 years.
For 3 years because of the whole.
Mm-hmm. We finally got back together though at Christmas time.
On Christmas, I came back with Lucy.
At one Christmas, yes, you did.
One Christmas, I was with Lucy.
Yes,
at your house.
and Brianna was little, but she was like maybe 2.5, maybe.
Maybe 3, 4, 3, yeah, something like that.
Remember, I didn't see her for 3 years, so
she was probably 4.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway,
like
yeah.
4.
So now, I'm in my living room, and this one's sitting on the sofa next to me, and she's talking nothing but about you the whole time. I said, I know my son. You don't have to be telling me this stuff. So, but it wasn't anything about what you were doing or nothing like that. It's just that, what kind of guy you were and this and that, And she goes, guys like him, they come a dime a dozen. That insulted the shit out of me. And I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? So then I'm thinking, she's using you. She had to, Brian. She had to. She needed you.
Right.
As her little runner or whatever. She needed you. So, I mean, guys like him come a dime a dozen. Again, I get a phone call at work. Is this Linda Muniz? And I said, yeah. And she said, it was a nurse, and she said, you need to come to Mount Sinai right away. And I said, she goes, your son's been shot.